Hey, okay, so I'm going to do this on video because my wrist is really killing me right now and I don't want to write or type. So I'm just gonna do a little vlog type of a thing here. So this is going to be my mid-year 2021 review. So I'm going to try and remember what the heck I've done as far as writing and publishing so far this year. To guide me in this review, I'm going to use Audrey Huey's author planner, which is great, very helpful, highly recommend. It's good stuff. In fact, I even have a little, there it is. See, that's how much I like it. I'm on the back cover. Anyway, the point being, all right, we're going to go over this mid-year review / second quarter reflect and resolve here. So let's think about my 2021 so far. I have not published any new books this year. The last book I published was book 2 in my Legacy of Lucky Logan series. It came out December 26th of last year. I started working on book 3 in November of last year for NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. I did write 50,000 words on book 3 last November, and I have written about another 50,000 words. Well, I took December totally off, so from January through now, and today's July 1st, I've written about another 50K. So it's sitting at about 100,000 words now. I'm almost done. I'd say it's going to be about the length of book 2, which was about 110,000 words. So I'm getting very close to the end. It's about, I didn't want it any longer than that. We'll just put it that way. So it's about on track for that. Boy, how to make this concise and not go on for hours. Okay, so in the beginning of 2021, I was really fired up, very enthusiastic. I realized that it was feasible for me to actually publish 2 books a year, and I planned it all out. You can kind of see I have like a yearly wall calendar. That's what that thing is there behind all that stuff over there. And I had hashed out my plan to publish 2 books this year. However, when March hit, I would basically have to write 20,000 words a month in order to do this. And on average, I already write about 15,000 words a month. So I figured it wasn't really gonna be that hard. When March hit, however, I realized that wasn't gonna work. So essentially, with my son being in virtual school and being home all the time, even though he's very self-sufficient and I don't have to stay on top of him, like he takes care of everything all by himself. I'm so lucky. But it was still another thing that I had to take care of on a daily basis, and a distraction. And I wasn't going to be able to have the focus that I needed to keep up that kind of writing schedule. Not only that, but I didn't like ignoring him as much as I was going to need to in order to make that word count. So, he's 10 right now. He's about to turn 11. And, I just kept thinking, well, as soon as he's going to be a teenager, he's not going to want to hang out with me. He's going to grow up and move out. So I just need to not be ignoring him all the time in order to get these words in. So I decided to readjust my publishing schedule to my only goal then would be to publish book 3 this year and get a good start on book 4, much like I did last year. I plan to publish book 3 this fall, and then I will start book 4 for NaNoWriMo this year, and hopefully again get a good chunk of it knocked out so that the beginning of next year I can hopefully finish it up more quickly, because my son will be back in normal school. Really crossing my fingers my state gets their crap together, because our numbers aren't looking that great right now, and so I'm not sure I'm going to be wanting to send him to in-person school if it keeps this up, but we will see what happens. Theoretically, he will be in in-person school. I will have more time, completely free to focus. Because the other thing that I have accomplished in 2021 is that I have really increased my writing speed. So previously, my writing speed was about like 600 words an hour. I've now gotten it up to be about 1,000 words an hour pretty consistently, and if I really am on a roll, I can get up to 1,400 an hour, which really means I only need 2 hours of focused writing time a day to hit a word count that would let me write a 100,000 word book in 2 months, that would be insane. So I know that it's possible for me to get to that point. I've been really working on that over this year. I've really been working on tracking my words per hour speed and working on really improving that. The other thing I've learned this year about myself is that if I know what's going to happen next, and if the story is going how it really should, the words will just gush out. That's when I hit the 1,400 words an hour. I'm not even thinking about it. It's just puking out of me. If, however, the story is not going how I want, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen next, the word count really slows down. So I'll get like 400 to 600 words an hour. I'll go back to like my previous word count. And that is really frustrating to me. So what I was doing earlier in this year was when that would happen, I would try to fight through it and just keep writing and just keep writing and just keep writing. And I'd get frustrated because my word count was low. Well, now what I've learned is better to do is whenever I realize that the words have slowed down, things are slogging along, I stop drafting. So I don't write and I step away from the manuscript actually, and I go do something else, preferably brainless. So dishes, laundry, go for a walk, etc., etc. And I just let it percolate. You always hear authors say they do this. Well, it's true because it works. And I don't know, I've tried it before, but I'm now to the point where it is legitimate. That is legitimately what I have to do. I have to get away from the manuscript. I have to figure things out first. Only once I sort through whatever problem I'm having in the story and I solidify my way forward, then I can go back to the manuscript and then I'll get those higher word counts again. If I try to keep forcing it, it doesn't work. First of all, I get low word counts, which only frustrate me more, which only makes it worse. And I end up being decently happy with those words still. Like a lot of times I hate them after I write them, and I think I'm gonna have to delete all these and rewrite it. But then when I come back after I've found the way forward again, usually I can still keep all those words. I might have to add in something or change a little something, but it's not terrible. So that's good. But I have now learned, don't fight it, step away, figure it out, and then come back to it, because I'm going to save myself so much time and frustration by doing it that way versus trying to just push through it. The other thing this year has been my writing consistency and discipline is now rock solid. I can step away from the draft to figure things out because I know there's no way in crap I'm gonna let that slip into like a week or a month or months or a year or whatever of not writing. Every single day, I used to take weekends off. Sometimes now I'll even write on weekends, but every single weekday at one time or another during the day, I will find a time of at least an hour. It's pretty much usual, only an hour, to just write my words. And I just aim for that at least 1,000 words a day, and then I'm done. And then I forget about the book. I go do my other responsibilities, and then that's done for the day. The next day I come back, I read over what I wrote, and then continue on from there. So I generally am still using Dean Wesley Smith's Writing into the Dark method. I absolutely love it. It's working really well for me. So I do still do that. This book I'm working on now is my third novel using that method. And yeah, it's working really well. I really, really like it. I have noticed with book 3, I tried to plot it a lot more than I had book 1 and book 2, and that really threw me off many times during this draft because I was trying to force the story to follow what I had already kind of hashed out, very loosely still, mind you, before drafting, and it was a disaster. I ended up beating my head against the wall. I almost like ruined the whole story trying to force it. So I have definitely learned that, at least with this series, don't really bother doing that. For the other books in the series, books 4 through 6, I've started kind of making a list just of scenes. So I'm not even necessarily outlining or plotting them because I don't want to run into the same problem. But I've just, like, anytime I have an idea for a scene that could possibly go in a future book or something that I want to address in one of those books, I will just write a very loose description of it, like, oh, this could happen, you know. But that's it. And I don't say where that scene might go in which book. I just write it down as, at some point, I want this to happen. And hopefully that will prevent these massive blockages from occurring, because that is part of the reason book 3 has taken me this long to write. I think officially just now it has taken me the longest. I wrote book 1 in 5 months. I believe I also wrote book 2 in 5 months. And now book 3 is 6 months and it's not quite done. So there was some other stuff in there that delayed things though. But I think mostly it's been that I kind of tried to plot book 3 more, and yeah, that ended up being terrible. So lesson learned, I'm not going to do that anymore. But yeah, I'd say my big accomplishments so far for 2021 are just that I have absolutely solidified my writing habit. I have drastically improved my words per hour output. I have really streamlined my drafting process now, learned a lot about how I work as far as what to do when I start getting stuck and how to hopefully avoid getting stuck more in the future, at least with this series. I have also been building my Instagram community for the last 2 years, actually, since I released book 1. And I feel like it is really starting to gain some traction now, finally. I'm having a lot of fun engaging with people there. Really like the people that I've met there. And I am now actually also getting some book sales now and then from my Instagram, which is a first. Also, I started a readers group on Discord just this year. It's been something I've wanted to for a long time because I just cannot stand how Facebook does things these days, and I really wanted to move away from Facebook. I finally kind of personally got the hang of Discord, and since a lot of my readership for the Lucky Logan series are gamers, they already kind of, most of them are at least a little bit familiar with Discord, so I went ahead and started one there, and that has really taken off lately. I say taken off in quotes because I only have like 29 people on there or something, and there's really only maybe 5 people who engage on a daily basis, but we have a complete blast. I absolutely love it. It's like my favorite place on the internet, and I feel like I've really attracted the people who are, you know, the core readers I want, who I know would love the Lucky Logan series, are now on that server, at least a handful of them. So we have a really good time together. A couple of them are actually going to meet me out in Vegas when I go out for 20 Books Vegas, and we're going to go on a trail ride together, and it's going to be amazing, so I'm super excited. But anyway, that's going really well, so I would definitely count that as an accomplishment as well. And I am still averaging 15,000 words a month this year, despite craziness happening, which I feel is pretty good considering. There were some months I was above. I was at 17,000 and 20,000 words for a few months, but then in March, April, my count was lower. It was like 11 and 12,000. And that was because I had a week of each of those months where I didn't write at all. I think March was the ATA event that I did some presentations for, and then in April I did some panels for the QuaranCon virtual convention. So in both of those months, I had like a week where I didn't write anything because I was planning those panels and presentations. So something for me to keep in mind personally for the future, anytime I have, a convention or a conference or where I'm giving a presentation, I need to be sure that I am aware that my word count for that month is going to be lower and, adjust accordingly. So that's interesting. So if we go to the review questions, I think I've covered a lot of them. I went over greatest successes and achievements, greatest challenges or obstacles. That would be my son being home for virtual school. My husband also works from home full time now. So there are people in the house every day, all day. And I was used to having the house to myself at least 3 days a week. That has been a big adjustment. But that's been that way since COVID. So I've had a while now to kind of adjust, and hopefully I've kind of figured it out. Also, the conventions and presentations, like I said, kind of threw a wrench into things. And then in May, we had all kinds of drama. We were trying to get our new camper registered. That was a nightmare. We had issues with getting our hot tub wired properly and delivered. We had our oldest cat got sick. She actually ended up passing away in mid-June. It was horribly sad and terrible, and I'm honestly still depressed about it. So we had all these things pop up that had to be dealt with. But just one thing at a time, one day at a time. We got through them, and yeah, still going. What is the biggest lesson you can take with you as you move forward? I've mentioned a couple of them, I think, by now, so I won't rehash. But the biggest thing, I think, for any indie author is to just stay flexible and keep an experimental mindset. And I'm finally getting that in my head, I think. I self-published my first book in 2015. Only really started cranking on self-publishing in 2019. And I think finally that's getting in my head. I'm definitely trying. I don't take things as seriously anymore. I'm trying stuff, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It's not a big deal. I'll just try something else. I have a quote way up there. I was going to grab it, but it's like way up there. But it's everything is an experiment. And that's what Tim McGraw said. And I wrote it down and stuck it on my whiteboard because I want to remember that all the time. And then my friend Jamie Davis told me years ago, a nimble business is a successful business. And I have that also on my corkboard over there to remember that, an indie author, one of our biggest strengths is being able to pivot faster than any traditional publisher can pivot. We can try new things, and it's not gonna, kill us if it doesn't work. We can just try something else. And also what Dean Wesley Smith said in his great 20 books to 50K talk a couple years ago. Nobody cares. So I love that. Like, it sounds so bad at first, but when you really think about it, it's a huge relief. Like, if you're sitting there like agonizing over some tiny detail on your book cover, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Just pick something and get it out there. And you know what? If it flops, change that tiny little thing and put it out there again and see what happens. So I also have that on my corkboard. So these 3 things are what I continually remind myself, and I think it's finally sinking in, and I think that it really does help to stay flexible and keep experimenting and see what works and see what doesn't. Are there any goals or priorities you set in the beginning of the year that have evolved? I already covered that. I thought I was going to publish 2 books this year and realized that was stupid. So I do absolutely think that that is completely possible for me in the near future, but this year just didn't work, which is fine. What are you going to do differently over the next 90 days to advance your authorship? Honestly, probably, I don't think I'm going to do anything different. I think I've pretty much figured out what works best for this series and this point of my life anyway, I'm going to try to just keep on optimizing and iterating this process and make it more efficient, hopefully. My top 3 goals and priorities for the next 90 days. 1 will be finishing the book 3 draft. It's very, very close, like I said. Getting the final edits done on that and getting it to beta readers. I want to have the absolute final draft done at the very latest by the end of August, preferably by the end of this month. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's soon. I'm gonna have to get cracking. I want to get the final draft of book 3 to my narrator in August or September. So that is my absolute goal, because I want this book out and published, the ebook, in September, and then I want the audiobook, ASAP after that, obviously. So that is my goal. So finish the draft, get it edited, get it published by September, and the audiobook out by the end of this year. I don't know if that's 3 or more, but that's pretty much my only goals for the rest of this year. I'm also working on a co-written funny sci-fi for Vella. So that's also going to be on the priority list. We are launching that when Vella goes live. So I guess keeping up with that would be another priority. And yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, I guess. Pretty much. I also think I'm gonna start my next series. I'm contemplating releasing them simultaneously, but I'm still playing with that idea, so I gotta think about that a little bit more. Did I blog? I did not, but I really want to blog more. That's part of why I'm making this video. I can't type, but maybe I can just do more vlogs, because I do have some stuff I want to cover and document, and my blog has really been helpful for me personally as a learning experience. Maybe it's interesting and a learning experience for other people too, but for me it has been helpful, and I really want to get back to it. And then it talks about the financials as far as sales and all of this. I did absolutely no advertising. I still have never done advertising. Every now and then I will discount my audiobooks or my books, and I will promote that casually on social media. For June, I discounted my audiobooks because it was audiobook month, and I had my best audiobook sales month ever to date. Hooray! I guess that's another accomplishment. Yay! So that was exciting. But that's all I've done so far as advertising, is just to discount the books every now and then. And I always do get a little spike in sales whenever I do that, which is nice because they don't sell a lot otherwise, which is why I don't even pay attention to my sales. But coincidentally, my publishing imprint is having our 6-month financial meeting for 2021 tomorrow. So as of tomorrow, I will know how many books I sold in 2021 so far. And maybe I will do a little update to that to let you know. My expectations are low. They're always low. That means I get to be pleasantly surprised sometimes. I will say that at the end of 2020, I was doing better than I had expected. So hopefully I will get another pleasant surprise tomorrow. But I will let you all know. And I think that's about all the important questions. How are my manuscripts coming along? Mostly great. I just hit a snag recently, but I think I've got it worked through. I'm going to be brainstorming with another author tomorrow morning just to make sure, get an outside point of view, see what they think. Let's see. Did I achieve my word count goals? Pretty much. Let's see. What has helped you stay on track? Okay, this is something I've been thinking about. So many authors say they want to write a book or et cetera, and they just don't do it, or they don't touch their book for 3 months or 6 months or 6 years or whatnot. The thing is, if you really, really want it, then you will figure out a way to do it. It's one of those things like, it's simple, but it's not easy. That's what they always say, right? It's simple, but it is not easy. And essentially, I just want my books out there so bad that no matter what happens in my life, I'm going to make time to write the words. Just period. So that's all I can really say to that. It does help now that I have some actual readers for the series who really, really enjoy it. And honestly, hearing from them and interacting with them on an almost daily basis now because of my reader group Discord has been insanely motivating. I am more motivated now to work on my books than I think I've ever been before, and I've always been relatively motivated. My mom will tell you, even when I was still in high school, I was handwriting a novel, and I would carry that notebook around everywhere, no matter what we did. We went on a vacation to Virginia, and we went on a dolphin sighting tour. So I was on a boat writing my book while everyone was staring at the ocean waiting for dolphins. And I literally wrote my book until somebody said, "Hey, there's a dolphin." And then I'd be like, "Huh, what, where?" And I would, stop writing to see the dolphin. And then when the dolphin was gone, I went back to writing. So, like I said, if you really want to do it, you're going to find a way, no matter what. There's so many other motivational speakers say it, but when the why is powerful enough, then the how doesn't matter because you're going to figure it out. So if you're wanting to write and publish, etc., or do anything really in your life, if you figure out why and you can define that why and you understand that why well enough and it's strong enough, then you'll figure it out. Don't worry. Okay, off the soapbox now. Anyway, yeah, a few things. Daily or weekly word count goal for the next 90 days. I'm still just gonna stick to 1,000 words an hour, and I'm gonna, once my son starts school, I'm gonna aim for 2 hours of writing a day. But for the rest of summer, I'm just gonna try 1 hour a weekday, and that's it. And then once he goes to school, I'll do 2 hours per weekday, and that's it, because I just have too much else going on right now to do anything else than that. Let's see, best time of the day to write. It's usually, if it's past 2, I'm pretty much worthless. So I try to get my writing done before 2. I can sometimes write at night, but it has to be a different, it can't be on my main project, essentially. It has to be like really just for fun stuff if it's late. See if there's anything else important to cover here. Okay, I think that's about it. It says, is there a new special place or workplace where you get your best writing done? Okay, I'll make that my last one so I can, wow, yeah, this is long. I told you it was going to take forever. Okay, I just like to talk, that's it. Let's see, so that has been tricky. So when I was still going to the office for my day job, this room here was mostly my writing room, because when I was home working, a lot of times I would work in the living room, and then I would come in here when it was time for my writing, because this is like where all my special foo-foo stuff is. Well, when everyone came home to work because of COVID, my husband ended up taking the living room a lot, even though his desk is downstairs, but it's in the basement and there's no windows. So he would come up and work in the living room a lot. So then I would have to work in here. Well, then it was really hard for me to do my writing in here, because this then became my workspace. So what I've done now that the weather has improved, thank goodness, is I've started going out on the porch to do the writing, and that really helped a lot. So that's what I've been doing lately since the weather's nicer, is I've been going outside to do my words. And then, this is still the workplace. This winter might be interesting, so I'll probably have to readjust, but that is something also that I think kind of delayed my draft of book 3. I think that kind of affected the speed, because I was struggling for a long time with very slow writing progress, until I really started figuring out that I needed to, really know where I was going, and stop trying to force it into that pre-plotted outline. So yeah, definitely figured some things out this year, which hopefully I'll remember for next year. Maybe I'll actually remember now that I did this little vlog thing. But anyway, I think that is enough for me. I am tired of talking. You're probably tired of listening. And also, this little hair is driving me crazy. There we go. Anyway, okay, so yeah, that's all for me. I'm gonna go now. Hopefully I didn't bore you to tears. Hopefully hopefully I'll remember the stuff now. Maybe it was interesting, helped you out, and I will see you all next time. Have a good night. Bye.